Another round of applause. Come on, how good is that? It's brand new. Brand new Midnight Train. From the brand new Kim Wilde album, Closer, with the gang here. We got Kim Wilde on vocals.
Hello, darling.
We got Ricky Wilde on guitar. Yeah! He knows things too about music. We got Scarlet Wilde on BBs.
Whoa!
And we got Neil Not Wild Jones on guitar.
Yeah, Neil.
Morning, Kim.
Good morning, darling.
How are you, babe?
Oh, I'm all good. I mean, I know I've got purple sunglasses on, but don't let that fool you.
Oh, come on. That's how we like our Kim Wilde, though. Seriously, with the
I
purple
got them
sunglasses on.
accessorised yesterday. I thought, oh my goodness, man, I'm going to get up very, very early. Gosh, London's beautiful this time of the
Especially
morning.
on a day like today.
God, it's
Oh, it's
stunning.
stunning.
We've got it all
thank
going
you for
on.
that, Chris. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise.
Oh, well, you have your back to it at the moment, but thank God because you performed for us live on the camera. This will all be on YouTube. You're on fire. Seriously, for people who don't know who you're with this morning, just introduce us to the gang, please, if you don't mind, Kim.
All right, yeah. Well, first off, let's say to the just been a new father. Neil Jones, our guitarist, been with us many years, and he's just become a dad for the very first
Come
time.
on. Right, let's get
5
it.
days
Come on.
old.
Daddy
5 days
Neil.
old.
5 days.
5 days old, baby Carter and Neil and Kieran have
Beautiful.
done that beautiful thing. And sitting next to me is my niece Scarlet Wilde. Now,
Come
she
on,
is
let's hear it.
Ricky Wilde's daughter.
Hello, thank you. Thank you.
Don't know what I do without Scarlet Wilde. She does everything from songwriting through to being my own personal stylist.
By
she
the
don't-
way, is she officially, Scarlett, your mad Auntie Kim?
Oh, toads.
Great.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
he doesn't want mad
Wouldn't
Auntie
have
Kim
her
in
any
her
other way, of course.
That's why she wrote Rocket to the Moon, which is a completely bonkers track on my new album, which is about a completely bonkers woman who happens, I guess, to be me.
Yay!
Last but not least, this amazing guy here, the genius that is my brother, the composer, the writer, the producer, the inspiration behind the whole KW stuff. It's
KW.
Ricky Wilde.
KW and Ricky Wilde. Let's hear it for
Bless
Ricky
you. Well,
Wilde.
thank you. Thank you for those kind words. That's always nice to hear.
I mean, honestly, Kim, this album is so good. It's so good. It's so you. You know, it's all right. It's because obviously you had Close. This is Closer. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, there, explain a bit about that, please.
Okay, well, Close came out in '88 and it had some bangers on it. You know, it had Never Trust a Stranger. It had You Came, four-letter word. It was a big inspiration to us. I think it was the first album that I think people thought that's a proper Kim Wilde album.
Yeah.
It just had a cohesiveness to it, I guess. It just was really worked, and it was critically and artistically acclaimed at the time. Of course, we sing those songs all the time when we go out live, and that bar was high. So we just looked at that and we thought, yeah, well, let's see if we can do that again. Maybe cover some of the subjects again. Just see what it is for a 60-something-year-old woman to be singing about than a 20-something-year-old woman. And there's a lot of similarities, but there are some significant differences because that's what happens as you get older.
Yeah, but it's the bridge, isn't it? It's water under the bridge, but there's the bridge. You can talk about the water, but there's the bridge. You know, you had view from a bridge, of course you did. You know? but if you start on one side and you sort of don't finish on the other side, but you get to the other side, I think that is 20 to 60 because that's where a lot of us are at the moment, and it feels good, doesn't it, Kim?
It feels really good to me.
Yeah.
I'm loving 60.
And you do have all this stuff happened in between, but I do think we have this sort of route one direct line connection between our 20s and our late 50s and 60s. For people who aren't there yet, there's nothing to fear here. There's just joy and freedom. That's what Ricky, what do you think?
Oh, mate, like 40 years later, we're enjoying it more than we ever have.
I'm with you all the way.
You know, and I think it's because when we're out there doing the gigs and doing the promotion and stuff, we really, I think we just appreciate it more because we're the fact that we're still doing it, banging
also,
away, you know,
we've
we love
learned
it.
not to take ourselves so seriously,
Definitely.
and therefore we can have all the fun, man. And that's what it was like at the beginning, wasn't it?
It was like that.
And then
Yeah,
somewhere in the
yeah.
middle, it became business and work, and
Yeah.
don't get me
A lot of
wrong,
pressure.
it was
Yeah, a lot
still
of
all the
pressure.
fun,
Yeah.
but it was a different
Yeah.
kind of fun
Yeah.
because it was fun, but it wasn't playful. And now I'm just all about the playing. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
These are the golden days, Chris. So for us, they're the golden days. You know,
Yeah.
we're loving it. We're
Yeah.
loving it.
I
If we
mean,
don't,
yeah.
if we don't know what it's
totally.
about by now, we're never going to know, are we? So that's the thing. But honestly, it's so good. I told you when you came in, listening to to the album, driving along the M40. I was like in a movie. Your songs, because Ricky's a big writer, isn't he, Kim? You know,
our composer.
your songs, you are Mr. Soundtrack. Honestly,
Well, bless you, mate.
your songs with Kim's vocals and everything, all your energy and all your sincerity and authenticity that goes into them, and all your passion, they transport me to. I don't know where I go. Maybe you know where are you taking me?
Well, when you have an artist like Kim Wilde, it's quite easy to get inspired, you know. And we have so much energy on stage, and it just drives you on to.
And you two are related, right?
I think so. Yeah,
what we do?
I think we're related, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
I think we are.
I think actually, I think they
rumour
call it.
has it.
I think we called Irish twins because there's like 10 days when we're exactly the same
Same
age.
age, yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, it's also good. And you're going on tour, kimwilde.com for tickets. It's proper tour, 45 dates.
Oh my God, is it?
How's that going to be?
Wow.
Yeah, it's 45. Sorry, I hate to break the news to you live on the air, especially as Daddy Daycare's involved.
When you put it like that.
Babysitting, I've got organised.
But it's great, and it starts in a couple of weeks' time. Sweden, Denmark, Scandinavia, and then it's back here in the UK. 14th of March, Birmingham. 15th of March, Manchester. 16th of March, Bristol. Then Cambridge, and then London at the O2 on the 19th at Indigo, which is a great venue. Liverpool Philharmonic, awesome venue. Nice size venues, cool venues, man. City Hall, Sheffield. 22nd of March, 23rd of March, Barbican, York. 25th of March, Royal Concert Hall in Glasgow. Once again, for these tickets, kimwilde.com. And then you're off on your travels again, Belgium, Netherlands. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fun. Germany, Bruges, Germany, Hamburg, France, Switzerland. But all that travel, that takes its toll, doesn't it? That
And you
is
know you're
different.
always welcome, Chris, if you
Yeah.
want to come to any gigs,
Yeah.
of course.
Well, I think Bring the Mountain to Mohammed. I know you've played Carfest. Come and play Carfest in August. Come on, man. Come on, can you do it?
Oh, I missed that last time.
Exactly.
I missed
Bring
that.
Scarlet to Carfest.
Yeah, I
Okay.
heard that was a good one. I was in
Carfest.
Do you
Australia.
fancy it or
though.
not? Do you
I'd
fancy it or
love to
not?
do Carfest.
Do you fancy it or not, Kim?
Okay, yeah, no, we're there. We'll be there.
No, honestly. We'll do the... You know how we roll. Yeah, it's folding his arms like...
Sean on it.
Okay,
Our
there's
manager's here.
There's a
He's good
negotiation
at all
here. No, we've got a great lineup this year. Great lineup already. We got Madness playing. We got Travis playing. Tom Walker. Rita Ora. C6 Steve. Alison Way, which I'm not allowed to say at the moment. But, Lightning
Great
Seeds.
lineup.
Squeeze.
Squeeze.
It's not going to be the worst weekend ever.
No.
No, it's
Of
not.
course
by
we should
far.
be there.
What else should we talk about? So let's do a few first. We've not done that for ages. First ever Top of the Pops.
Well,
Who was on with you? What was it like? Do you remember it? How exciting was it? Tell us about that. First ever Top of the Pops.
that was really exciting. Madness were on. I think Tina Marie might have been on. Is that her name?
Yeah,
Is that
Tina
her
Marie,
name?
yeah.
But I remember, most importantly, Madness because I was pretty intimidated by them. A bunch of lads, quite leery.
Yeah.
On the other side of the stage. And of course, I was a big fan. So that was overwhelming to me. And then apparently, when I look back on it, I do look terrified. Everyone said I look cool. So I'll go with cool. But the truth was I was terrified. And I've been watching Top of the Pot since I was a little girl. We all had.
Yeah.
We watched that every Thursday night, 7:30.
And the reruns are on now, aren't they? Is it you watch them, don't you, Jane? Jane watches the classic reruns. Ricky, your first memories of all that
Well,
stuff.
I don't know if it is the very first one, but it was one of the first ones. And I remember watching Erasure perform Respect. And I think it hadn't been released yet, and they were pre-recording it because they knew it was going to be a huge hit, obviously. And we were there and that's the first time I'd heard it. And the moment I heard it, I fell in love with it. And it was one of those moments I just thought, wow, this is going to be so huge. And of course it was, and it's an anthem now, So that was one of my greatest memories of seeing Erasure.
And of course,
and Depeche Mode, of course.
Yeah.
Actually, Depeche Mode. I remember we did the first Top of the Pops we did. They were on it as well, and they were really excited about it. And he was showing me this little Casio toy that he'd just bought, Martin Gore, and it was he was saying, oh, it does this like synthy thing. So we had a little synth talk, and so it was lovely.
You love all that, don't
Yeah,
you?
I do. I love all that fiddly stuff. So,
You
yeah,
still
it's
love
great.
it.
By the
I
way,
do.
lovely synth action on this new album.
Yeah.
What older stuff did you? Because I know you collect stuff as well, musicals, equipment. Did you import any of that for this album?
Yeah, there's the instrument that I wrote Kids in America on was this little synth called a wasp, and I sampled a few little sounds out from.
There's a few nods. There's more than a few nods.
Oh yeah.
Because we are Closer. This album's called Closer. Big album, 1988, called Close. How many albums are we in now? 15, 16 albums, something like that.
15 is it? 15, I think.
It could be. Yeah.
something like that, Chris.
Always armed with the facts, aren't
They'd
you,
buy
Kim?
a few tulip bulbs, wouldn't they, Kim?
What's that? Lovely.
They'd buy a few tulip bulbs. Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving my tulip bulbs.
Of course you are.
They're all coming up right now.
How is the gardening going now? Where are we with the gardening?
Well, I'm watching my bulbs that I plant. I did plant quite a lot of bulbs several months ago, and they are coming up. I am pretty pleased about that. I did plant about 200 daffodil bulbs for a very good friend of mine last year, and I'm watching those do really well and multiplying, I might add.
Beautiful.
And it's all a thing. I just love it.
It's
this
all
is
a thing.
It's just about to start up again, but there could be a little bit of snow on the way before then.
Yeah. Wow.
Love a bit of snow.
What else do we want to get out there? We've got the tour going
Tour
on.
in March
We've got the
for
album
UK.
tomorrow. What's that?
Tour in March.
Tour in
UK.
March. Okay, we've got to get that. We've already said that.
Yeah.
It's great to have you back. How does it feel?
Amazing.
It feels amazing. I mean, there's so many things great going on for all of us. I mean, Scarlet's got a 1-year-old or more than 1-year-old little girl called Goldie, and she's going to be getting married this year.
Oh God, I am as well. I forgot. I was thinking, what's happening this year?
All right. Well, when's that?
That's in September, sort of sandwiched right in between.
Just
all the
after
madness.
Carfest. Great.
Just after Carfest.
So we can all go there.
Yeah, we can all go
that'd be
there
nice.
to Tuscany, which is where we're getting married.
Nice, very
and
nice.
and then we're like really quickly on tour again.
Where are you going on honeymoon?
New York.
Whoa!
I know. Yeah.
Congratulations. This is amazing.
Yeah, well, we thought New York because, we want to do all the things that we can't do normally when we've got Goldie. So we thought we'd go and just drink loads of cocktails for...
Yeah, do it.
Mum and Dad have got the baby.
And the bill.
Good luck. And the bill.
Perfect.
Yay!
That's what mums and dads are
That's
for.
what they're for.
Babies and bills. That's why we've got a new album coming out on the tour. Let's pay for the wedding.
There you go. It's
Doesn't
all
matter.
timed
Hey, listen.
perfectly.
If you find the big enough why, you'll always get a how. Don't worry about
That's
that.
it.
All right, what do you want to play next? Up to you. I don't really mind. Where are we going next?
I think we're going to play one of the songs from Close, the album that has inspired this album, Closer. And it's the biggest hit probably had on that album, called You Came, written and dedicated originally to Ricky's firstborn. For a bit like Neil, we think about You Came when we think about Neil having his firstborn.
How mad is that?
Marty.
This was written for my little boy, Marty. My little boy, who's now 39.
Oh my
gosh.
And has his own little boy called Marty. Anyway, we're going to sing You Came.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Not this year, but yeah.
Got there in the end. Oh, come on. You're on fire. Sounding great, guys. Sounding so good, man.
Thanks, Chris.
And the new album, Closer, it's so electronic because you are a big electronic fan, aren't
Yeah,
you?
it's a fan.
The thing is, though, here we are, basically acoustic. Andy Taylor from Duran, God bless him. We were talking a couple of years ago backstage because he was in Reef for a bit, wasn't he? We were talking about the fact that Duran songs are so good because actually they're rock songs.
Yeah.
And when he gets his guitar and he plays them backstage, they're like unbelievable.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
Rolling Stone songs. And then you put all the 80s electronics into them. You feed it into the NutriBullet of whatever it is, and they come out like we know them so well. Your songs are the same.
Yeah, I think live as well. We just add another injection of rock into it. It's like there's a lot more guitars and it's like the live drums as well.
But
I
that
think
song
makes
there, you came like straight. That's how you wrote it, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, come on, how good is that song, Kim? It's your song, but how good is that song?
I know.
It's great, isn't it?
It's
I
mad
love
'cause
singing it.
Most of the Close album had been written, and the record label MCA at the time were really happy with it, and there was a weekend, and I just thought, let's try and just come up with one more for the album.
Thank God.
And so I just went into the studio, booted all the gear up, and got the synths going, and it just materialised
And
magically.
Kim, when Bro Ricky comes to you with these songs, as he's been here for years and years and years now, what is it like? Can you hear the bangers straight off the bat?
Well, yes, I can. I remember there are songs that I remember, having that reaction to. Certainly Kids in America, excuse me. Certainly Kids in America. Also Never Trust a Stranger. What a banger. Midnight Train. When he played me Midnight Train, I thought, oh my God. Same with Trail of a Destruction, which was the first single on Closer. You're on fire, Ricky Wilde, and he's a unique producer. I mean, he's up there with all the Trevor Horns and all of them.
I know.
This is just a master.
Well,
of his,
you would laugh, wouldn't you?
he's a master of his craft. He's up there with the best of them. There's none better. No more.
Let's
no
hear from
one
Ricky. Let's
more
hear from
talented
Oh,
than Ricky
thank
Wilde.
you. Thank you, guys.
Seriously. By the way,
I'm feeling the love today. I'll tell you, I'm loving this.
By the way, it's love and it's respect, man.
Yeah,
bless
absolute.
you. Bless you,
Absolute.
Chris. It's always lovely. I mean, that is amazing, and thank you so much. I
And
really
none
appreciate
of that would have happened the last song without little M3.
M3.
it. No,
He's M3, isn't he?
no, M3. Yeah, it's M3.
Should we
Yeah.
explain? I love the M3 thing. Do you want to explain?
Well, my dad is M1, Marty.
Yeah.
And my brother, Marty, is
M2.
M2.
Yeah.
And my son is M3.
Yeah.
And
His son.
And his son,
M4.
M4.
Looking forward to the M27, mate.
yeah.
And South Mims somewhere on the way. Right, so that was inspired by little M3. How old was he then?
He was one.
He was one. Because you hear that song and you can apply it to your own life. That's what people do with songs, isn't it? You think it's a loved one, and it is a loved one, but you think it may be a sort of romantic partner or
But
whatever.
that's a great thing about all pop tunes. You make them your own.
Yeah.
You hear a song and it might have been written about any number of things, but not the thing that you relate to it by. When you hear it, it becomes your song.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing about pop music. You put something out there, and then everyone out there takes a little bit of it and makes it their own. It's their own track to their soundtrack to their life.
I think lyrically as well, it's nice to put a lyric out there where people can relate to other things. I mean, it could be anything. It could be religion. It could be a best friend. It could be a lover. It could be anything.
Could be the
A dog.
It's,
It could be a dog.
Finally.
For you, it would definitely be a
It could definitely be a
Been
dog.
waiting all day
it
for
could
you.
be a baby. So yeah, and I think when it's more universal like that, it makes it more interesting. I think it's a.
Somebody was saying yesterday about if you're working on a creative project and then you have some downtime, maybe that day or that weekend or whatever, and you listen to a record or you watch a movie that has nothing to do with what you're doing, you will often find something in that you can just reframe or repurpose because anything creative is creative. It just is. And that's life.
Yeah, well, the inspiration behind that, behind You Came, was Life on Your Own by the Human League. Wow. If you listen to those chords, they're very similar kind of chords. And so I was listening to that. And Dare was... not
too similar.
But Dare for me was like my...
Hey, Ricky, what about Checkered Love? Tell me about Checkered Love.
What happened with
Checkered
Checkered
Love!
No, Checkered Love. You said, was it Checkered Love? No, you said, whatever it is. Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. Basically, Rick sort of being inspired by other bands, whether that be Ultravox or Midjaw.
By the way, let's
currently-
shout out to Midjaw.
Yes,
Midjaw's on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just
Midge,
put that up
big
there.
shout out to Midge, yeah. Bless him. Yeah,
He's great,
done
isn't he?
an
His
incredible
vocal is great.
vocal,
Track 4, is it? Track
and
5?
guitar solo. He's just he's
amazing.
a legend, Midge.
All right, we need to wrap this up because Neil's looking tired, man. It's this new dad thing going on here.
I have no idea what day of the week it is.
What day do you want it to be?
Yeah.
Let's call it a Saturday.
Yeah, it feels like a Saturday.
How is your baby brain at the moment?
Sorry?
How's your baby brain?
What brain?
Yeah.
Constantly adapting.
Good for you, mate. Good for you.
Thank you.
All right. How old is your...
5 days.
5 days, blimmin' heck.
With that, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I haven't slept in 5 days.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a name? Can we
Yeah, it's Carter.
Carter. Brilliant name, strong name.
Thank you.
We're done. I want you to play another song. You don't have to. Probably haven't got one ready. I don't know. Do you want to play another song? It's up to you. It's time for the news. We should be going to the news, but I don't really care.
Okay.
Do you want to do another song or not? You don't have to at all. You can just...
Sure, yeah, why not?
Freaking out. People are freaking out. People are freaking out, man. Honestly, Jane, you can't believe it, can you, Jane? Can't believe it. That was so good.
Great thing you got in
That
your
was
quiz.
so good. Oh, my God.
Oh, can we bring you to every gig,
Yes.
please?
Yes, I'll drive the bus. I've got my bus license. I can drive the bus. I can drive the tour bus. Is it still the tour bus nowadays?
Road
Do you,
trip,
do you still have the tour bus? Is that the way you
yeah.
roll?
Oh, yeah, we
We
still
still
drag it
do.
out now and again.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Over the years, Ricky and Kim, in the music business, has it always been plain sailing? Because you seem to be sorted. You know the business inside out. Has it always been good business wise? Has it always been all right? Have you learned a few things you could share with people, or what?
Well, it has. I mean, it's funny with Kimmy's career. We've had kind of like highs and lows, and Kim took like 10 years out to bring her babies up. So that was a bit of a lean time, but then she came back and stronger than ever. And it's so yeah, there have been ups and downs, but that's kind of the nature of life.
That's
I think,
about the
isn't it?
tide, though, isn't it? Coming in and out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
business-wise, have you nailed it? Do you think?
I think so. I think we're in a good place now where we can not worry about all that kind of side of stuff.
Yeah.
I think we can really concentrate on the music and the performances.
But like
now.
you say, you learn along the way, don't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
it catches you on the blind side when you think you've got it nailed. Sometimes comes touch you.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, absolutely,
You've not
yeah.
experienced me before.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the music industry has transformed. I mean, think about it, Chris.
Yeah.
There weren't even mobile phones. There wasn't even the internet when we started.
I know.
No
It's
social
just-
media or anything like that.
So
It's
things
crazy.
are changing. You just got to
Yeah, huge
adapt all the
changes.
time. And I think,
yeah.
I think work with people you trust. You know, if you meet someone who you totally trust and they're kind of smart, get them on board. That really is very helpful.
Yeah, and
'Cause
don't be scared of change either. I think if you embrace change, I think you can always make the best
Be
out
open,
of stuff.
isn't it? It's about
Yeah,
being
open-hearted and embrace it and go for it and don't be scared of it. Just
Yeah.
go
Hopes
for
and
it.
Dreams for the new album is out tomorrow. Closer is out tomorrow. What are you thinking?
Oh, God. I don't have any expectation. Do you?
I'm speechless. I mean, the reaction to it so far has been so amazing. The
Yeah.
reviews have just been incredible.
Yeah, mind-blowing.
The energy around it from everyone, from yourself, darling Chris, and from everyone, it's just been huge. So I'm daring to dream big.
Yeah,
That's
why
what
not?
I'm saying. I'm
I
daring.
agree. I mean, what do I know? I agree, though. It's because we had the Bridget Jones guys on yesterday because Bridget Jones is back, and
Yes,
I went to
yeah.
watch the movie on Tuesday, and they've just gone for it unapologetically. They've just gone, don't care what's happening,
Love
don't
that.
care what people think. This is Bridget Jones, and they've gone for it.
Amazing.
And I feel the same about this album. It's just so unapologetically your sound, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
You've not no sort of painting by numbers, no sum of its parts. This is what we do. This is how we feel. Let's go and do it again. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And certainly lyrically, it is. Yeah, it's very bold. It doesn't mince its words.
Doesn't pull any punches.
It's, I mean, there's a song on there. It's very hard hitting called "Hourglass Human" that Scarlet and I duet on. That's a pretty tough bit of a lyric there. It was pretty difficult to sing, actually. That and "Stones and Bones," which is
Oh, I
also
love
a
that
very
song.
tough lyric to sing. So there's some real dark places on this
Yeah.
album too. But I think done with eloquence and done with passion and love. And but there are love songs and there's fun songs and there's everything. There's that lovely mix that we had on Close, and that's why we used Close as the bar. I think we may well have surpassed it, Ricky Wilde.
Oh, I hope so.
Scarlet, Wild.
on.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think when I was writing it as well with Kimmy, we always sort of bear in mind how it's going to sound live. So there's always that element as well to it.
And they're big songs, man. I
I
mean,
can't wait.
there's no easy lifts on this album. They're complicated, aren't they? And
Yeah.
you've done all the hard work so we can endure at the other end. But you know, the thing about a classic Kim Wilde album, and a lot of those great sounds from the 80s and into the 90s, is they are quite, without getting too nerdy about it, they're quite dystopian, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're quite chaotic.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
It's quite violent. There's a lot of sounds in there as
Yeah.
well as music. There's
Yeah.
sounds in there. It's
Yeah.
like almost like scenery on a stage.
Yeah.
And you give us that, and it's
Yeah.
like, wow, this is so. That's what helps us transports me when I listen to the songs.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that's
and
lovely
certainly,
to hear.
you know, a lot of Rick's music are like soundtracks to like the best sci-fi movie you'll ever
Totally.
watch.
Totally.
But you know, I think
He's
it's-
written the soundtrack. Somebody write the blimmin' movie, man.
Really, I mean, you know what? That's exactly true. And the way that Ricky has been working on a number of projects that we've done, not least of all the Here Come the Aliens project. He did an album of remixes on that, which are just astonishing and really belong on movies. And I think, you know, the movie world are missing a trick not to pick up on Ricky Wilde for soundtrack work and stuff like that. But that's all to come, Ricky Wilde.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
Scarlett, you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say it's because Dad and Kim as well, but they spend their life immersed in music. I mean, sometimes I can't be bothered to listen to music, and you would never hear those words come from Dad and Kim's mouth. And like specifically Dad, like he's constantly listening to new music. He's so interested in what new synthy music is coming out. Synthwave is like your biggest passion and continues to be in a way that I think a lot of people that have been doing this for 40 years or whatever it is that you've been doing it for don't necessarily have that same passion still going. It's like a childlike passion. I think that's why this album is so good, because it's like it's all of that coming together once again, and it's still inspired by new stuff. It's not only inspired by the 80s and inspired by what they used to do. It's like really inspired by what's happening now.
By the way, round of applause for that.
yeah.
Scarlett.
Scarlet Wilde.
By the way, that's going straight on Instagram. God, I don't know if you rehearsed that, but that was damn impressive.
But it's funny because I'm getting inspired by bands that are inspired by the 80s. So, so it's kind of
cool,
coming
isn't it?
full circle. You know?
Wow. But speaking to what Scarlett said there, it's like that great philosophical conversation between two fish, and one says to the other fish, you know, how's the water? And the fish says, well, what water? Because he doesn't realise it's in the water, because that's its life. That's you and music, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, what new music? It's all like, bring it on. It's like oxygen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I am so pleased you bothered to get up early to come here this morning.
Oh, thank you for having us, Chris.
Loved it, Chris.
It's been so
great.
lovely.
Thank
You're
you so
amazing.
much.
You're amazing. This album is going to be massive. The Wild Bunch are back. How's the fan base? What's going on with the fans? Because I know you stay in contact with them. They love you.
They do. They're all like sort of. I'm doing a few I'm going to do a few signings. You know, album signings. Doing one in Kingston and one in Brighton. In the
They really
next few
come out to
days.
bat for you, don't they?
And they're the real fans. They're going to be
amazing.
turning up. I can't wait to see them. We've got a load of fans all over the world. We've got the perfect fans who follow us to virtually every gig all
Yeah,
over the world,
astonishing.
specifically in Germany, but also Holland and other places. We know them
amazing.
all by name. They're often down at the front.
always
you know,
at the
these
front.
people have been, you know, coming to our. We've known some of them since they were like teenagers.
Yeah.
Some of them are now working in the music industry. You know, they're working and they're having amazing lives, and yet they're still following us.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
crazy
honestly,
slides.
I can feel the vibe. I know you're excited about
Yeah.
this. I can
Yeah,
tell. I
really.
can
Yeah.
tell. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
tell that you know you've got something here.
Chris, the planet's lined up for us.
Yeah, 100%. Well, the album's out tomorrow. It's called Closer. We've all heard it because we get to do those things from Cherry Red Records. Thank you very much, Cherry Red Records. KimWilde.com for tickets. The UK dates are in March from the 14th to the 25th. And we're talking Birmingham, Manchester, Bristol, Cambridge, London, Liverpool, Sheffield, York and Glasgow. Can we hear it one more time for the Wild Bunch? Kim Wilde, you got Ricky, you got Scarlett, you got Neil, you got new Daddy Neil in the house. I mean, we're due to be on till 10, but I think we're done. Yeah. I think we're done. We just chatted for 45 minutes of music. Wow. It's 45 minutes to go. Just replay that. Let's just go. We'll go and have a coffee and a chat. All right, we'll stay.
Thank you, Chris.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. It's 16 minutes past 9. Here's the 9 o'clock news.
Yeah.